What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Gabriel. I like to talk about things movie related. I talk about comic books, anime, Power Rangers, Comic Con, whatever you want to call it. I love all the pop culture out there, most of it, and I'm still working on some of my anime. But I want to talk about Zach Snyders Justice League. And for those who you don't know, this is not a brand new movie. This has been out, came out in 2017, known as Justice League. It came out, and the director was Zack Snyder, and then he left the film. After finishing 4 hours of this movie, he filmed about 4 hours worth. He left the film because of a personal matter, and Josh Whedon came in, who also directed Avengers. He came in and he trimmed it to 2 hours. He did reshoots and everything, and he made it a 2-hour film. He did editing and everything, so he made it the 2017 film Justice League. It was in, and people didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like it. They felt it was too kiddish, kind of like how Marvel movies are. And I'm the biggest Marvel movie fan around. I love all Marvel movies. I'm Marvel over DC, but I'm pretty unbiased when it comes to superheroes because I love all superheroes, and Superman is pretty much my favorite superhero. This movie, so Josh Whedon came in, right? He edited 2 hours, and the film came out, and it got a lot of bad reviews as far as how Zack Snyder would have made it better, made it more unedited and everything. So a lot of speculation came around that there was a new movie going to come out, but it was going to be Zack Snyder's Justice League, the 4-hour movie he made that he originally shot before he left, and he was going to bring it out. And then all the fans got on Twitter and whatever social media platform was like, release the Snyder Cut, release what Zack Snyder's vision was. And Zack Snyder came out saying there was 4 hours worth of movie that came out, and everybody was like, let's see that 4 hours, let's see it. I want to watch 4 hours of Justice League. And then there was so much speculation that this movie was going to come out, and Zack Snyder eventually came in saying, I'm going to release it, I'm going to do some reshoots and everything, and we're going to make this movie happen. And it eventually did, and here we are today. This new movie came out, Zack Snyder's 4-hour unedited Justice League cut on HBO. I don't know if it's theaters yet, but it's on HBO for sure. After watching it, it's pretty awesome. Let's start with the length of this movie. This movie did not feel like 4 hours. I guess it felt like 3 hours, maybe 3.5. If you want to say 4 hours long, if you're really a fan of of superheroes and DC and Marvel and stuff, then you're not gonna think about, oh my god, I gotta sit through 4 hours of this movie. No, you're gonna think about, like, I'm gonna enjoy the ride and everything that happens compared to the original. And let's face it, I watched the original that came out in 2017, and I didn't remember too much of it aside from like what mainly happens in the storyline. This new movie really brings out, more character development, more backstory. Because let's face it, in 2017, I didn't really care about Cyborg or, Aquaman. Aside from Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, who had their own movies, before Justice League, because we had Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, and then Aquaman's movie came out, and it really brought more telling to these characters and what they were dealing with in their own lives before they joined the Justice League. And I felt that a lot with Cyborg. Cyborg's storyline, more of his story was added in. I felt more empathy for him. The fact that he was really kind of fighting this battle with himself and his dad and the real world, and it really brought a lot. And then bringing this unedited version was really cool because he's just like, F the world and F this, and I don't care whatever my dad has to say, I don't care. There's a scene where he's listening to a message from his dad, and he just crushes the cassette. I don't remember if that was in the original movie, but it's like you feel like that pain he has, like, I don't care what he has to say, he doesn't matter. And then at the end of the movie, he ends up going and reanimates the tape player and plays the message, and it's like that's real life, like, problems people deal with in their life, what they go through their life is like they don't want to deal with these problems, and then they finally have this realization that, okay, I'm gonna listen, and I really love that about this movie. The storyline, like, you feel for the characters more. I don't know, how I feel more about, Batman as, Ben Affleck as Batman has not been the biggest, Ben Affleck as Batman has not been as great as when Christian Bale was Batman and stuff. So I do, try to take it with a grain of salt how Batman is portrayed by Ben Affleck, but it's I can't really care for him as much as how I think of how Cyborg feels, or how Aquaman or Barry Allen, who plays Flash, and it's get all these characters into one movie. It's a lot, and it's like 4 hours is like, yeah, what you would need to brilliantly care about all these characters. And that's not even counting like the additional footage, the additional like fight scenes, the additional like slow motion. Like half this movie is in slow motion. It's like even the fight scenes are really good. How the really unedited killings, the uncut killings of like, you know, cutting heads off and stabbing and shooting with guns and like deflecting bullets, and it's like you wouldn't have that in our normal Avengers movie that's like directed more towards the younger demographic. So that's why this movie is great, because you really appreciate it. Face it, there's not going to be a perfect superhero movie. There's always going to be fans that say this sucked, that was terrible, oh, this was a piece of crap and stuff. You're never going to have the perfect superhero movie where everybody's like, this movie was amazing and there's no negative reviews about it. Let's face it, that's the reality of the world. You're going to have DC and Marvel fans battling each other, and they're always going to be talking smack about their other types of films out there. But as a fan of both films, and as much as I love Marvel, you know, Superman and everything, you appreciate it for what it is. Appreciate for what we were given. Appreciate the effort and time they did to make 4 hours, which was probably thousands of hours in real life, to make this movie for us. And I think it was great. I want to talk about like my favorite scene was when Superman's entrance was in the end. Superman's entrance in the final battle against Steppenwolf, and he goes, and Steppenwolf is gonna go and kill Cyborg with the axe, and Superman comes and is like, I'm not impressed. He's just like, and then he freaking freezes his axe and just destroys it like nothing. He's like, poof, and it's gone. Like I think that was the best scene in the movie. I think because I'm a big fan of Superman, I think that was like the best scene in the movie. That's like so badass. He just comes out and just blows away his freaking axe and then kicks his ass, obviously. But the other thing I want to talk about is Darkseid, though, because I know people, I've been reading reviews and everybody's talking about it, and it's like Darkseid was super weak in the beginning. He got his butt kicked by Zeus and everything, and he was pretty bad, like pathetic. And then he came towards the end like this big bad villain, like the Thanos of the DC universe, and he's gonna like end up killing all the DC heroes. But I mean, in the beginning, let's face it, he looked pretty weak. Like he was like nothing. Like he was like a child. And I guess that was before he got his Omega beams. But you know, you want to make him seem like this badass character. I don't think they should have made him look that weak in general. You know, because Thanos never looked weak in Marvel. So I don't know if they were just trying to like prove a point to like, oh, how he was now, how before versus after or whatever. But he did look pretty weak in the beginning, so I don't know if they're going to show his side of the story coming up and he gets stronger and how he got stronger. But he didn't look very strong in the beginning, and then towards the end he was like this great god that's going to kill everybody on Earth, which is like how he is in the comics. But you know, I don't know about making him out to be like this pathetic guy that got beat by like, you know, all the different types of heroes before was the best idea. But I think they'll add more about that into like, if they make Justice League 2, about more how his storyline is, because I do want to know more about Darkseid and more in terms of the live action aspect of how they're going to make it and tell the backstory. It's not everybody knows about Darkseid, but you know, those things, it's going to be really good towards the future of DC movies. I think this is really important to make this Zach Snyder unreleased cut, because it was great. It was really awesome to watch all this, and I like it. I like how they redid Steppenwolf. It looks a lot more menacing now. It looks a lot more detailed and everything, aside from when he takes all his armor off and he looks like a dog toy or something. I don't know, like, they should have never took his armor off. When he takes his armor off, he looks like really like weird. I guess just like the material on his skin just kind of looks like when you buy like a dog a toy and he like chews it. Like that's what it reminded me of. But it was just funny to see him without his armor when he was like, "Oh, please, Darkseid, I'm sorry," you know. So, you know, I think it made him look more weak there. But as far as he goes overall, definitely more improvement over the original Steppenwolf, and I really appreciate that they did that, redid everything. It's like these directors, they really hear the fans. They really hear the fans on like, oh, this and this and this, and let's fix this and everything. So I'm thankful for this Snyder Cut, because it really pleased me as a superhero fan to sit and watch all of this over and over again, and it not feel like 4 hours. Because because you're really invested into the movie, into the characters, not thinking about it as a 4 hour long movie, but think of it as like, okay, my superhero story is being told how I thought it was going to be told, and how it was like, I can imagine, Superman really, ripping the arm off or cutting the head off or something, and they cut Steppenwolf's head off, and that's like how you would think, like, oh, how are they going to kill this guy? Cut his head off, and he did, and that's was like, okay, that's what we want to see as superhero fans, and that's why this movie was great. So I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna watch it a few more times, and it's not even gonna feel like 4 hours. So just don't complain. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but don't sit there and bash the movie as it was trash. 4 hours of trash. It's not, because it's like, it's superheroes. They're doing it as the best way they can to tell the story, and how they think fans are gonna like it. So I recommend watching this movie. And if you are a fan of Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, The Flash, and The Flash's Barry Allen scene, that was a good scene too. I really liked the cinematography of that scene, so I recommend watching it for that. That scene's a really good scene too. But as far as this movie goes, I definitely recommend watching, and I recommend it. If you are a fan of superheroes, you will love this movie. So thanks for watching this quick review. Maybe not quick, but definitely just me ranting on what this movie was to me and what I thought it was to everybody else. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with more videos. Alright guys, have a good day, and stay focused, stay on your goals. Let's get it. Bye guys.